Okay, people, how's everyone doing? Good, I hope, you know. I'm playing Doom for the Sega Saturn on my AtariVCS, you know. And I'm using the Kinhank Batocera hard drive, which is that red device there sitting to the right of my AtariVCS with the green light on it, you know. And I'm playing the game using the AtariVCS wireless modern controller, man, you know. So, you know, I like Doom for the Sega Saturn, even though it's a bad version of the game. I like it. And I think it's awesome that I could play it on my AtariVCS. Now, when it comes to getting a working online version of Doom for the Sega Saturn, it's really impossible, you know what I mean? It's really hard. But thanks to this Kinhank hard drive, yeah, it works, man. Also has some awesome Sega Saturn bezels to the left and to the right. That's what that's what the Japanese version of the Sega Saturn looked like, you know. Now, even though Doom and the Sega Saturn was a bad version, this is the version that we had back in the day on my Sega Saturn, man. You know, I liked it, man. You know, we didn't complain. No, we enjoyed what I was given, and we still like Doom on the Sega Saturn, man. You know. And when I found out that I could play it on my AtariVCS, I was in heaven, man. You know. So yeah, awesome stuff, people, you know. Doom and the Sega Saturn, I think it's awesome, you know. Of course, you know, there is no excuse for why this turned out so badly, you know. It was just the people in charge just messed the game up, man, you know what I'm saying? The Raid Software, id Software, you know, both them together, just destroyed a classic game for the Sega Saturn. Now, it's still playable in my opinion, you know, but in later levels the frame rate drops to like 10 frames, 5 frames per second. It becomes unplayable, man, you know. And this is a part of the PlayStation version of Doom, but everything that was awesome about the PlayStation version was taken out of this one, which I don't understand, man. You know what I'm saying? Because they had to make that change, man. Because this is, look, it's just a copy of the PlayStation version, but the PlayStation version has awesome lighting effects. Each room had different colour lighting. The sound effects were better. I mean, I had them an echo sort of effect. You know, I had more music tracks, and the sound effects were even better. But the gameplay, the PlayStation had a solid 30 frames per second, and the enemies were moved a lot faster. In this version, the enemies move a lot slower, and the frame, the rate of fire of your guns have increased. So the game is a lot easier than it should be, you know. And again, but it was still like the game, you know what I'm saying? Like, we had this back in the day on Saturn, and it's a lot better now than it was. The fact that it has some awesome Sega Saturn bezels, and I've got it works wirelessly with the control pad. So yeah, I mean, you know, yeah. So yeah. Yeah, so the AtariVCS, man, is awesome, especially if you like playing retro games. And if you grew up with the Sega Saturn or the Sony PlayStation or the N64, Sega Mega Drive, Super Nintendo, you're gonna love the AtariVCS, man. Trust me when I say that. And you don't need Batocera, man. You can emulate the game straight off the Chrome browser through online emulators, or PC mode is another route, man. You know. So the easiest way to play retro games on your AtariVCS is just go to Chrome on your AtariVCS and just type in retro games online, and you see a ton of online emulators, man. Some work better than others, man. Some have a controller support, some have the AtariVCS joystick support, you know, or you can just play the games by default with a keyboard and mouse. So I recommend people getting a keyboard and mouse for your AtariVCS, because it is a PC, and I think it's necessary to have a keyboard and a mouse, man. Especially if you want to play DOS games, you know. Yeah, so awesome, you know. And yeah, brilliant stuff, people. So yeah. Now I believe there's been someone actually fixed them for the Sega Saturn, improved the frame rate and all, which I do have on my tablet, and will show people that at a later stage. So yeah, I mean, someone actually went back and fixed it for the Sega Saturn. I can't remember the name of the guy that did it. But Sega Extreme, that website, if you go to that website, Sega Extreme, and type in Sega Saturn Doom, you see what I'm talking about. And you can download the game to your tablet or your iPhone or whatever you have. But you have to have the Japanese version of Doom for the Sega Saturn before you download the patch. Because what it is, it's a patch, you know. That patch is the Japanese version of Doom for the Sega Saturn. With a better frame rate, stable, steady frame rate of above 50 frames per second, man. Close to 60, man. And the Nightmare Pinky Demons are back, you know, the invisible black Pinky Demons, you know. So the game has been fixed, you know, which is awesome. Yeah, so we're playing Doom for the Sega Saturn with AtariVCS. Now, people are probably saying there's a better versions of Doom out there. Why you play this one? Well, like it, man. This is what I had back in the day. I played this for hours on end, man, and I still enjoy playing the game, you know. But I do agree, the people that destroyed it should be forward, man. You know, either Doom right or not at all, and these people just didn't care, man. You know, they just rushed this out and didn't give a damn, you know, which is unfortunate, you know. Yeah, it is what it is, you know. So I'm going to leave it at that, man. I just want to show you Doom for the Sega Saturn with AtariVCS, and thanks to that Batocera hard drive to the right there, you see the red device, which is a 2TB Kinhank hard drive, has over 100,000 games built in, man. I'm not messing, has all the games, man, and brilliant, you know. Sega Saturn, N64, you name it, from any system you could think of, even systems I didn't even know existed, man, you know. So yeah, Doom for the Sega Saturn on my AtariVCS. I love the AtariVCS, man. It will get more games in 2026. I mean, it's not dead and it's not going anywhere, so don't listen to the people that are saying that it is. They don't know what they're talking about. You know, we will see more games, especially from indie devs, right? Because they're making money on gamers like myself are buying those games and enjoying them, so that'll stay the same, man, you know. Because fair play to Atari, I believe they give the developers 80% of the money, so it's in their interest to make games for the VCS, you know. You know, so yeah, that's it. I'm going to end the video there, man. I can't think of anything else left to say. If you have an AtariVCS, I highly recommend getting the Kinhank Batocera hard drive. There's a red one, which is the one I have right there. That's a 2TB hard drive. That's the one I recommend because it has the most storage and the most games and features and stuff. But it is the most expensive one, €120. It cost me on eBay, but it was well worth it, man. But I advise people before you even get the hard drive, make sure you access the AtariVCS BIOS and disable the secure boot option. You have to do that first before using the hard drive, the Kinhank hard drive, because if you don't, the VCS won't boot into it. Now, the AtariVCS BIOS is protected by a password. I forget what the password is, but you can find it on YouTube or the AtariVCS Discord. And just disable the secure boot option within the AtariVCS BIOS, okay? So that, you know, awesome stuff, people, you know. But like I say, my tablet, we've got a Samsung Galaxy Tab A9 Plus, which is a tablet I highly recommend for if you want to do gaming, man. You know, especially retro games. Right. So the awesome thing is with this tablet, we can cast its screen to my AtariVCS with this app called AirDroid. Right. So you download this app AirDroid for your phone or your tablet. Then you have to get a Classic Boy Pro emulator from the Play Store. Then you just download the games you want and cast its screen to your AtariVCS, which is another awesome option, man. And depending on the speed of the internet, the casting will look, man, if you know what I'm saying, to be no lag or very little lag. But if you have a weak internet connection, then it's going to be a pretty crap experience. It all depends on how good your internet connection is when it comes to casting your tablet or phone screen to your AtariVCS. So so make sure your AtariVCS and your phone or tablet are on the same network, same Wi-Fi network, and you have the AirDroid app installed on your phone or whatever, and you have to get the Classic Boy Pro emulator, because that's all the emulators you need in one app for Sega Saturn, especially for Sega Saturn in particular, you know. Then when it comes to PlayStation, the emulation with that is pretty much flawless, same as the N64, but with the Sega Saturn, because it's so hard to emulate for, it's tougher, man. But thanks to Classic Boy Pro, it has all the latest Sega Saturn emulators, Beatles Saturn and Ubusi, all the latest emulators. And with Batocera, same thing, it comes pre-installed with all the latest emulators, so it cuts out all the hard work, if you understand what I'm saying to you. All you have to do is get the games. How you do that is up to you, man, you know. Okay, so yeah, awesome stuff, man, you know. Okay, some brilliant stuff, man, you know. Tune for the Sega Saturn. I would still love this game. So I'm going to end the video there, man. I hope everyone has a good day. Take care, all the best, and bye-bye, you know.